Okay, now check out what's happening with this arc. This is one thing I definitely want to bring up to you guys that happens in VFX all the time. I look at this arc and I'm obviously seeing the timing behind it, right? I'm seeing a push kind of happen where the arc comes up. We have a little bit too much hang time and then we almost directly come down here, right? So we're kind of having an arc come up and then kind of almost on a diagonal down, which is not necessarily the best arc we want to have. But for this camera, to get the poses we wanted, especially since we're going to noisy some of it up a little bit, that's absolutely something we're just going to kind of fake. Okay, so let's work on getting the final poses what we wanted here. Okay, let's work on some of this arm stuff. Okay, so I'll probably have this do something more like this. Let's get the fingers into an overlap state. And then this is where we want our slam happening. Here is where we want to really, really, really push our overlap. Okay, and then this one is still on its way up, because remember we want to get that fun kind of bicycle kick type thing with the arms. Which means we're going to be favoring this first, while this hand is still much higher than the other one. Get it as far behind the body as we can. That one's on its way down. Get a nice silhouette out of this. Push this out of the way, make sure that we follow an arc. So one of the things that we're doing is by this one landing first, we can really, really nicely push a really nice arc this way. And I'm just kind of going back here, really pushing it so it's favoring this side, which means that our downward spine, right, kind of hit the opposite. Okay, so when this one hits the ground, we're still very favored on this side. And this IK is going to be landing slightly later. And also, since we are going to be putting the pressure on that side there, this is where we're going to be reversing that on this side. So we get our nice reversal shapes out of that. Then when we push off, we can reverse it back and get that kind of nice push off till we leave. Okay, so now we go into here and we start untangling the arms and the hands. Get this back. And let's make sure that when we slam this down, getting a really nice big ol' overlap out of this. Okay, this one can land here, which means that his backup will be a little bit further here. This is still pushing back, and we're just still working with our timing. So as this one's going down, this one's heading up. Here we can probably even bring this down even further. So we get real nice opposite actions there. Okay, let's work on the other arm. This one can probably still be a little bit further down on that push off. This is where we just kind of fill in our IKs. As this arm heads up, this one can still kind of favor it down. Then it starts heading up, I would say probably a little sooner because we're reaching a little bit too far here to get that real nice offset. And then start to come up here. And a real nice slam of the ground. All right, so let's bring this back a little further. So he can land that one here. This one can probably land, oh, right about here, let's say, you know, a little bit closer to the camera. We'll make it a little bit more intense. And then push off this way. And then this is where we can start to detail in that type of stuff, you know, and then this is where we'll kind of hand key all the fingers to get a really nice, you know, push off this way, right? And that's all just detail stuff. All right, so we're leading with this one. This one's coming first, right? Which means this one should be down first. So opposite can come up. Get a really fun kind of claw inside of here. This one's still going to be delayed. So here, can bring just to resolve our IKs, and then we can just look at quad cycles to get this working, depending on which one that we want to push off of. Okay, so if we're going to do like another push off, like if he's doing like a bit of a gallop, do a nice push off this way, and then arc it up as he comes up, and then bring it forward as he moves forward off screen to kind of finish the shot. Okay, then here's where I'll take the body down, all right, and then favor the rear spine into a reverse arc. So we get C reverse C here, just so we see change happen, and then here, so it tweens out of it, bring it back. And then when he pushes off from these, this is when we can start making sure that our silhouette leaving tweens into a push off this way, right? So now it feels like we're really just pushing off forward. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll start playing with chest noise. So we can hit here, we hit here really, really, really hard, but then within like 2 frames, we're immediately back up. Okay, so we feel that clavicle pushing up. Here, 1, 2, 3. And we just really stage it for camera. And then make sure that we have some clean exit frames kind of coming out. And we can start bringing this forward. So it's just kind of filling in the gaps, making sure that we're offsetting. And then of course, when we leave, I'll offset these legs. So one leaves before the other. Then what I do, honestly, most of the time, just to get a tail pass in, is I tend to just use FK at first. So the push off is obviously going to be happening here. And then as we come down, the tail's going to be total opposite. Kind of stage it for camera. Right, and then just playing with, getting initial poses in there first, just so it's not annoying anymore. Then I'll go in there and literally go in kind of frame for frame and do a proper overlap on this. Right, so then this way, we just have something, just so the tail doesn't look so stiff. Right, so here, he jumps up at a certain momentum, and then he kind of shifts this way. So what I would do is towards the beginning of this, I would make sure that that shift starts to occur based on that push-off. Right, so we get some of that arc happening during this push-off here, and then track that arc. See that? Even just by doing that, now we can track the head into that arc coming down. And then you can do the super fun stuff with like the claws. So if we push off like on this claw here, getting a really nice push off here. And then as we come around, opening it up this way. And then as we come down, really open it up and then spread it around. And then get that really fun, like claw opening as we come down. All right, kind of do the same with the opposite. And even that just adds a ton. Still here, but making sure that we have those nice offsets. So I might actually, because this one's more kind of overlap and this one's more seeking the ground, right? Just to have it feel a little differently. And then as this comes down, I might just have this overlap up just a hair. So it's just really just finding, those clean silhouettes throughout this whole thing. And then of course, later when it's done, you can add this kind of fun stuff. It's closed, hitting your super fun overlapping marketing pose. And then of course, having to clean up the head from clipping totally into the ground. We don't want that.